started our journey to start working only with local produce, support the local farmers, and the most important thing is education. The more you educate your team and the team educate the consumers, the idea of sustainability is get more real. Because right now the word sustainability is such a big hoo-ha word in our industry. Everyone wants to be sustainable, but people don't understand what sustainability is. So when we try to educate people, it takes time and it's not a easy process, but small steps which brings a big change for industry. And we are the frontliners for food waste or biggest, I would say, um, yeah, food waste industry. So we need to start taking these small steps and try to make the bars or restaurants more sustainable.
Cool. Yeah. So I have here a few points. Okay. So guys, what do you think we had a change before the pandemic and after? So how you feel the sustainability was before the pandemic? So you maybe start with something and how it's changed after.
Well, I mean, right before the pandemic, there was a lot of talks about, cutting out the plastic and cutting out the straws and so on. And then the pandemic came and everything became takeaway. And I think one of the things to think about there is that to not just give up on all the work that a lot of bars and a lot of places has done. Because you saw a lot of places just say, all right, screw it. They packaged all their food and they packaged all their cocktails and a lot of plastic and so on. So I think it obviously presented itself with a lot more challenges of how to do all this takeaway in a different way. And it has definitely changed a little bit. But it's important to keep thinking about that and to keep working towards that.
Yeah, look, what happened in Colombia and South America, we actually didn't have any help from the government, the states, so it was more about how to survive than about really sustainability. It was first, okay, how do we face the situation to keep having food enough and a roof where to live, than really thinking about the bar, because we didn't do any takeaway at the bar. It was more about, how do I keep my people alive?
Of course, so that was the priority, no? Yeah. And now, how you see after now this pandemic, how we recover? What do you think? What do you feel about the sustainability?
What do you think?
Do you think after the pandemic, there are, I don't know, any new project, or you see sustainability in another way, in another direction?
I haven't seen it that much right now, just because I think everyone's focusing on just trying to reopen, and everyone just trying to focus on getting back on their feet. But I think there's a lot of bars that has focused on how to kind of trying to become better over the time that it has been shut. And I hope that everyone comes back to where we were before the pandemic, to a point where people are focusing on trying to just make things better.
Sure, but you're right. Now you say, if you do a great work before the pandemic about sustainability without using any plastic, and you don't have to, do something, using all the takeaway things with the plastic. So you need to stay, keeping in one direction, no? So,
I think so, yeah.
Yes. What do you think, Ashish? You think after the pandemic?
I agree with the other two. That what the work has done before pandemic was were big and good, and then after pandemic, people start just looking for saving money from anywhere they could, because that was the only way to survive. And the plastic came in picture. Takeaways, drinks, takeaway food, even the mask you're wearing, it's just too much to clear off, and it will take a long time to dispose all these things. So what we did it when we opened back after the first lockdown, we launched a menu which is about the life cycle of fruits. The whole idea was behind is to reduce the food waste, and even though start appreciating the surroundings, what you have given to you in your local areas. And then we also started the program called Tree Valuation, which is supporting one of the local cacao farmer to plant 5,000 trees a year through Barcelona. Because we understand it, even though there's a pandemic, but we can't stop our work. We have to work towards sustainability, and sustainability is such a big word or big work for on all of our shoulders, so that we have to continue develop something, continue finding ways how can we chip in that small 2 cents everywhere where we can. So yeah, that was for Trigona, and we still continue to try find more things which we can help the society and being sustainable.
Sure. What do you think, guys, about our customers now when coming to our bar? You think they appreciate, of course, no, all of our work and what we are doing, but what's your point of view about that? What's the customers' feedback on our work?
Yeah, I mean, for us, you definitely have a mix of customers, right? But there's always people that understand and appreciate it, and you see it like when it goes to, let's take the straws for example. When it goes to a movement that becomes so big, so you see massive corporations like McDonald's and Burger King taking out their straws, even though they still use the plastic cups, but it's whatever. You know that there's a movement, you know that people care, you know that it's not only the bartenders that are there trying to do it and so on. To do most changes, like it doesn't necessarily need to be a big thing, or it doesn't need to be in people's faces that you've made it. As a matter of fact, for example, let's talk about the straws thing. What we did, like when we wanted to take part of it, is that we just stopped using straws, but we didn't replace it with anything else. We just asked, why do you need a straw, right? The way we serve our drinks, most of them are served up or on regular ice.
From the source.
Yeah, and honestly, I always like drinks better when you drink them from the glass. And I was like, well, let's just serve all our drinks so that you drink it from the glass. And it's just about choosing the right glass and the right ice, instead of trying to get a paper straw that's gonna just disintegrate into your mouth or whatever. Again, I think most changes doesn't have to be so visible and so in your face. I think most changes are usually in the back of house. And so it's usually pretty easy. It's not anything that guests usually go like, notice or so on.
Okay. Look about us, yeah, as we have like almost 100% of our clients are from Colombia now, and are very proud of what happened during the pandemic when we started the project, when we came back. They before the pandemic, they saw us more like high volume party, and yeah, more the party side, and almost all the people that didn't know that we cared about the sustainability. So now most of the people, they talk about it when they go to the bar. They ask to the guys who went to the farm, and they can talk about like a life experience they have at the farm. They can say, okay, this ingredient in this cocktail comes from, I planted it, and that changed the way they see the business and even our industry, because they used to think, yeah, bars in South America, usually they don't see the difference between a bar and a club. No, so for them it's like party, and now we had the opportunity with this experience to change how they see us.
Cool, amazing. What about you, Ashish? What do you think? What customers say at the bar, or the team transmit the message to the customers?
I think it's a mixed kind of results of what we have seen. Out of 100, I would say 3 or 4 people actually pay attention what sustainability is. They want to know what you guys are doing really to be achieving the most of the food waste or reducing carbon footprint or something. Most of them, they come down and they just want to have good drinks. But what we have achieved in the last 2-3 years, by this 3 or 4 percentage people, when they go back and meet their friends and families, they share the same thing to them. And then the awareness just gets bigger and bigger. And then they bring more people to the bar to learn more about the local product, where it's come from, who's growing it, why it's sustainable, what they can do to help with the local community. So, and after the pandemic, that whole thing has been changed, and people are really want to know more about it. That how they can help the nature and what the future is ahead. So, yeah, that's what we've seen in KL so far.
Cool. For example, for us at Paradiso, it was during this day. Then we are changing the menu. We are actually serving the drink with our sustainability coaster. Then we've done, and this was an example. Then it's a thing that you can touch, So actually, the customers realize, and it was a way to pass the message, Then we try to we try to use most of 100% the ingredient, Try to not throw away things, I try to reuse it. So that was an example that actually really arrived to the guests, And as well sharing in the social medias, and customers coming, see it in the bar, talking with their friends. So I think it's important as well to give the message, and so on. So we give to the customers, we give to our team, and as well we spread the message. You guys want to share any of your project, of your future project about sustainability?
Well, one thing that we're focusing, or one thing that we want to do, especially now that we're expanding the bars and that we're building a central kitchen. So basically a central space where we create everything for our cocktails, and we're basically looking to work with distributors and with alcohol providers that can start making deals with us to sell their product in bulk. Basically, we want to stop buying the individual bottles because, we make a lot of the tap cocktails. We sell hundreds of these cocktails. And every week I see a mountain of glass just sitting there, that we have to take out. And so I think something that's beneficial both for logistics, and this is where sustainability is great, where you can feel that, all right, well, you're doing something great and something a bit more sustainable, but you're also being a lot more practical, and it's also a lot better for logistics of the bar. So we're looking to work with a lot of distributors that will do a lot more in bulk, where they can sell us 50-liter containers of their product, whether it's a gin or a vodka or something, that we can just refill, rather than having to buy 70
cases,
bottles
yes.
instead of doing that. So that's a step that we're looking to try to take.
Yeah, and as well it's a thing then you change straight away, because if you do this, you kind of cutting the problem straight away. The community, benefit straight away. So
exactly,
it's cool.
Yeah, what we are doing is we have two projects right now. We have doing the new menu of the rooftop, and the objective of this menu is to have every single point looking at the sustainability, the ingredients, the glasses, the coasters, then even the uniforms of the staff. The t-shirts are made with plastic bottles, and even we change when we change the menu on the rooftop, we change the arts on the wall. So even the wall is gonna be a peak of our adventure at the farm, with faces of the people who are working with us there, so we can make the link between the farm and the bar. And at the farm, we, as I said in the morning, and we are building a kitchen for the prep in the farm, so transform everything from there and send it to Cartagena. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, my friend? Any future project?
Yes, I mean we are working on a. I mean we adopted this program called Eco Spirit 1 year ago. Eco Spirit basically what Bob just mentioned. You know, they're buying a spirit in a big containers. So we buy 25-liter containers for the house pour spirits like gin, vodka, rum, tequilas, and we just refill the bottles. And we are actually extending our portfolio for Eco Spirit. We want to bring single malts. We want to bring American bourbon and rye as well on a 25-liter cakes and continue reducing the glass bottle wastage. We have also working on a program called Adopt a Beehive. Is basically you can adopt a hive through us in one of the local farm, and in return you get honey from your own hive. What you're doing basically you're helping the beekeeper by putting more hives in the ecosystem, increasing the bee population in the ecosystem, also supporting the local farmer. And as I mentioned, the current program is the tree evaluation, with working with the cacao farmer, planting more trees, and in the future we want to get all our ingredients from this cacao farm and create the menu from the same farm. So we'll be having a closed loop cycle where what we build it and we're going to use and feature in a menu as well. So considering we are supporting these different part of the society, especially the community, the farmer, creating more jobs in the community, also reducing the food waste. We are working hand to hand with the farmer. The team gets more education about all the produce, and then the menu which goes to the consumer, they can also get the feel of what's happening in Malaysia.
Amazing, amazing. I think is the future, no? To work more closer with the farmer and try to do less waste or plastic waste possible. As Paradiso as well, we are starting a new project, study the circularity of plastic, okay? Especially try to find a new way, a new life for the plastic waste. So we are already working on it since 3 months already, as well with a few University of Barcelona. And in the next month we will from one side try to stop using all kind of single waste plastic, so try to eliminate the problem at the source, and with the plastic then it's difficult to not use, try to recycle and transform in something useful for the bar, for the customers, for the bartender, as a gadget for the customers or something like that. So we are all in a very, very cool project. No sé si hay algunas preguntas, si chicos tenéis algunas preguntas o... En español, and I translate. We'll have some question, buddy.
It's not a question, but I think like in a cocktail bar wise, the thing that is the most dangerous thing, it will be like the pandemic. I mean, no people on the bar is getting a lot of trouble for us, like to drink the proper drinks. I mean, we are working on it, we are developing all these things, but it's not our actual job. You know what I mean? Like, for me, the best thing about the bartender is when people is coming to the bar and is having a drink, you are explaining to them, and you are explaining why is this ice, why is this glass, why is this specific drinks. So now everyone is trying to develop about this pandemic. So everyone is doing like cocktails takeaway, or I don't know, even like to see the drink menu on a phone. This is something like for us is a pity, because you are getting our job a bit worse. Not worse,
Okay.
but it's like we are not showing how good is our job.
I understand what you mean. We're losing a little bit the interaction, no, with
Exactly.
our guests, no.
It's not the same that people is asking on the bar about Negroni, or people is ordering in a phone and is getting at your home with in a bag. So you just put a little bit of ice and orange peel, and that's it. This is a Negroni. and it's a bit. I mean, I think it's a bit more than that.
I'm agree with you because I think it's one of the best part of our job is serving all the customers on the bar and having this beautiful atmosphere at the bar. But I think, on my point of view, then we need to adapt as well to the situation. No? So if at the moment we cannot serve people at the bar, we need to try to bring this experience to the table or in other way, you know. And luckily we have the technology now. We have more things to try to survive to this time. But I hope very soon people can be come back. I don't know if you want to add something.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, from our point, like, we never did take away drinks or take away food. Like, we just never did it. Because, again, it was just not something that we were like, this is not really what we do. Even now when we reopened and we do in a full-on restaurant, we don't do takeaway because we really like, most of it is the experience of being there. So during the pandemic, instead, what we did was that we sold clothing. We sold T-shirts and we sold caps, and we became a clothing reseller, and we were like, okay, it sucks, but this is who we are now. We turned our bar into a little, like a Santa's little workshop. Everyone was packing clothes and putting them in packages. But yeah, it's, you know, it sucks, but we're getting back slowly. People can sit by the bars now in Barcelona.
Yes.
So hell yeah.
Finally. Okay, so if nobody else has something to add, I thanks everybody to join, and thank you.
homies.
And let's keep more sustainability every day more. Thank you. Ciao Ashish. Ciao.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Ciao, Ashish.
Stay safe. Bye-bye. Take care.
Ciao.